Okay, so been a while since you guys have seen my face, but that's not what we're here for today. What we're here for is to talk about this One Piece episode. That's right, 1071. So I did shoot a reaction to it, and here's some of that. Oh my god, you can hear it. This is tough. Oh my god, look at this colors. Oh my god, this isn't even the main stuff. I'm still kind of shook that we're still getting this. I wish I was an anime only man, but this is still amazing nonetheless. Yo, he's just straight up Ultra Instinct right now, just 100%. This is crazy. It just cleared the sky like it was nothing. Look at this animation style. Bro, what is this? Oh my. Lit his ass up. It's just drums the whole episode, bro. I like how the drums just stopped completely. Oh my god. Dude, his eyes just get cartoony. They did that so perfectly. What the heck? Ooh, we got buff. Reminds me of Chopper's Muscle Point. I don't remember the moves they did, to be honest. It was all a blur. But I realized after that the camera angle was super weird, and also just as a manga reader, knowing what's gonna happen, I was sort of looking for the moments, and they were completely blown out of the water. But it's hard to react to something when you already know what's gonna happen. I don't know, it's weird for me. I can't really do that. But I did want to dive into the episode a little bit more, and having rewatched it a few times, there's so many intricate things that they did. If you watch the episode, then you know exactly what I'm talking about with the animation style, how they presented Gear 5. This is probably the most work they put into, and I think probably the most work that's been put into a transformation in an anime in general. But let's get into a little bit of what made this episode so good. All right. Okay, so let's get the elephant out of the room first, okay? And no, not that one. I would say the pacing was a little bit off. The whole bit with Hiyori and Orochi kind of just cut the tension a little bit, and I understand they did want to get that out of the way, and they probably didn't want to include that in the next episode, but it did take away from the tension a little bit, even though it was amazing just seeing Orochi kind of, you know, completely bite the bullet here. Let's just watch a little bit of that. Amazing. Beautiful. Orochi has got to be like one of my top 5 most hated One Piece villains of all time. Pack his ass up. But we get past that and we finally see the long-awaited Gear 5 transformation, and I think they did it amazingly. They did reuse this part, and as amazing as it was animated, they did reuse that. They played that again, which was a little bit... Yo, I'm not gonna lie, why does it look like some of the animations being reused? Am I tripping? But you know, that's just how they're gonna do it. If you think about how many frames are in this episode, the level of animation, it makes sense why they had to, you know, add in a little bit of filler, I guess. The way these episodes are structured, I guess they want to end on a certain point, and then they kind of fill in the gaps. Maybe I don't know anything about the structure, but if we look at the mid card, they introduced a new middle card, so that was cool. Wait, what the heck? Is that a new OST? Ooh, new mid card, let's go! And then we get into the actual fight. So there's so much you can say and dissect about this animation. Obviously, it turns into a more cartoony style to mimic the toon nature of Gear 5. You see Luffy blowing up his arm, grabbing Kaido, dragging him onto the rooftop yet again, blowing himself up, just super cartoony things. And this is where the animation style gets, and I want you guys to notice something. So I don't know if many people caught this, but there was, and throughout this whole episode when Luffy's in Gear 5, there is this like slight like filter, this old cartoon style filter on the screen that I don't know how many people are gonna notice, but it really just sold the whole idea of this being super cartoony. And I can't lie, bro. This might be some of the best animation I've seen in anime. There's like, you see, there's like a little cartoon filter on it. They even put the old school cartoon filter on the screen on the episode itself. Man, some of these impact frames I just can't say. Can we just watch this one scene? Oh my god, this is exactly what I envisioned Gear 5 to look like as a manga reader, and they delivered it perfectly. But then just a presentation of Gear 5 where they're showing all the previous, and you can go one by one. Let's go frame by frame a little bit. So we've got fight with Lucci, we've got his first Gear 3rd, we've got his first Gear 4th, and they're just showing everything. Every single big moment with all the different gears. We got Snake Man even. This is the kind of stuff that you want to see out of an anime, and this is what makes anime transcend manga in certain aspects, right? And I think the thing with One Piece is you can say whatever you want about the pacing and the art and animation in the past, but when it comes to moments like these, the One Piece anime blows it out of the water, and they've definitely outdone themselves this time. So we get to see a compilation of all the different moments, and then we get this amazing Gear 5 screen, and this is movie level quality. Like, this is just straight up movie level quality. There's nothing else to even say about it. Like, look at this. Does this not remind you of like old school Dragon Ball with Shenron or something like that? Luffy's laughing his heart out. We obviously get a lot of revelations about the Gomu Gomu no Mi actually being a Zoan type devil fruit, the human fruit, mythical model, Nika the sun god. We're in the pitch dark of night, and yet we show Luffy, Nika the sun god, shining with sunlight. Now obviously a lot of people are going to be confused with Luffy's powers, but there is, an explanation for it, and they're going to explain it further. But it does seem like Luffy is able to bend the laws of reality. And at the end of the day, from what we've gotten, it seems like this explains a lot of why Luffy's prior transformations, Gear 2nd through 4, have had so many unique characteristics that don't really make sense when you think about just a rubber fruit, right? Gear 2, Gear 3 made a little bit of sense, but once we saw Red Hawk, things started getting a little bit weird, and a lot of people back then were questioning how something like this was possible, and now we know, with the human Nika sun god fruit, Luffy can pretty much do anything he wants, and in the coming episodes we'll get to see the extent of this, just how crazy things can get. This is his awakened devil fruit, and oftentimes we see him make the environment around him more rubbery, right? He's able to bend the laws of physics. I mean, literally bend the earth to ricochet back the blast breath from Kaido. Oh man, they really just capture the entire toon nature of this devil fruit. I mean, just look at this right here. Luffy's morphing into all these different shapes. We see him moonwalking in the sky. He's look at this. His body's just like flying around. This literally just looks like a comic book or Tom and Jerry or something. And there's obviously a lot of inspiration taken from that, right? Got the smoke coming out, and this is one of my favorite parts. You see Luffy doing the classic cartoon run. Even things like this where you have Kaido drawn without any lines. We are super lucky to be able to see this, and as someone that's been following One Piece for a decent amount of time, not since the beginning, but for several years now, this is definitely one of my favorite One Piece episodes of all time. Now, if you listen closely to this part of the episode, we actually see, or actually you can hear, Overtaken being played in the background. And I actually heard Rogers Base talk about this, but he basically said that the drums that were originally in Overtaken essentially foreshadowed us getting the drums of liberation. Now, I don't know if that was intentional by Oda or whoever directed the sound, but if it wasn't, that's probably one of the best coincidences I've ever seen. Now, okay, so again with the reuse assets, we see a lot of flashbacks, and they definitely killed a lot of time, but I am really okay with it knowing that next episode is going to be just as good. Okay, so my camera kind of bugged out, but there were a few things I still wanted to talk about that I forgot to mention, and one of those was the new ending song that we got. So, after around 17 years, One Piece has finally gotten a new ending song, and it's actually pretty good. You know, I never was really a big fan of the ending songs in One Piece, and I don't think One Piece overall has a lot of, you know, some of the best openings. There are some good ones, some hard hitters. But what can I say about this ending song? I guess one of the most important things, and the first things I should say, is that this has a lot of spoilers in it, so I would probably not pay too much attention. Definitely vibe out to the song, but if you're an anime only, I would not probably pay attention to any of the stuff you see on screen. Oh, also shout out to the voice actor of Luffy. I should definitely mention that Mayumi, she definitely changed the voice that she uses. You could tell it's a lot more giddy, mimicking the nature of the sun god Nika. But also there's a sort of like hysterical laughter to it, right? There's like a little bit of psychoticness to it, which I think really resembles what, you know, Oda was going for when he created, you know, the sun god Nika and this personality that Luffy has when he goes into Gear 5. But let me know what you guys' thoughts are about Gear 5 1071. Might do a reaction to 1072. And if you're an anime only, how was that reveal? Was it hard, you know, avoiding spoilers? It's tough to avoid spoilers when the publishers and the creators and people backing One Piece themselves are creating events around it, so it can be quite difficult, especially, you know, when it's all over every social media as well. But hey, that's just how it goes sometimes. But until then, I'll catch you guys around, and yeah, peace.